Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbana zidna ilma. Allahumma faqihna fid din. Allahumma inni as'aluka ilman nafiya wa rizqan tayyiba wa amalan mutaqabbala. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. So here we are with our session number 61. And we will inshallah start with our review. And we were doing Ayatun Nur last week, if you remember. So let's take it from there. So there was still a few things that were left, but I'm sure you must have completed it. So we'll just complete it real quick, okay? So if my dear sisters, you can see my screen, type 1 and start typing your answers. I think we have done Yahdillahu li nurihi man yasha'u. Did we? Did we do it together? Type 1 if somebody remembers, if we have done it together. If not, we can start from here because still there may be still some questions that can you hear me now? Okay, Alhamdulillah. So yes, so let's start Yahdi. So Yahdi, what do you think? Yahdi is your fail or an ism or what? Or a harf. It's a mudari. And tell me the status of this mudari. Barakallahu feek, this is your jumla failure. This is your mudari, and this is marfu in status. And this is marfu in status. You can say here, instead of calling it sabutin ya, you can call it bidammatil muqaddara. Barakallahu feek, dear sisters, right? So sabut of noon and not noon is applicable with af'alul khamsa, right? Then we use word thabit or not thabit because noon has been taken away. In case of dhamma, when it is there or not there, we can call it dhammatul zahira versus dhammatul muqaddara, which is implied or estimated dhamma or something that is hidden, but we know that it is there, right? It is not it is not visible, it's not being shown because of how the word is to be pronounced. Just for ease, it has been changed into sukoon. Okay, so it is ya has a dhamma, it is marfu bid dhammatul muqaddara. If it was mansoob in status, what will be the ya like? If the word yahdi was mansoob in status, what will be the indication of that? How will it look like? Just a quick review. While we are doing Jumla Ismiya, we should not forget our Jumla Fi'liya altogether, right? So if this fail was mansoob in status, what will happen to the fail? Ya will have which haraka? No, 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 no. Never, never. It's not going to change into alif maksura. No, it will be yahdiya. Ya will have a fatha. Ya and waw, let me tell you, ya and waw in their mansoob status can have fatha. Alif maksura, like if the word was tarda, it is going to look the same in mansoob status as well. Okay? And I'm glad, and I wanted to do this practice with you because these are difficult concepts, and I remember myself going over them again and again, and with more practice, I learned how to deal with those advanced concepts. So if there was a word that is ending with alif maksura, and I have taught you a word like tarda, it's going to look the same in mansoob status and in marfu status. Okay, it's going to be the same. Any word ending with alif maksura looks the same. But if my word is ending with ya or waw, ya and waw, they both can take fatha. Is it clear to my dear sisters? Lan nad'uwa. Linahtadiya. And there's a group who is doing this verse from Surat, and now I don't remember the name of the surah, but they are memorizing a dua from a surah where linahtadiya, right? So if it was mansoob, it should be able to take a fatha. Ya is going to be able to take a fatha. But in case of if a word is ending with alif maksura, yes, it is going to be yahdi is mudare. It is mudare. Yeah, that is for sure mudare because ya is in the beginning of the word. Ilamatul mudare. It is mudare. In case it is mansoob, it will be with fatha. If it is in majzoom in status, what will happen to this word? If it is majzoom in status, my dear sisters, what will happen to the word? Remove ya. Everyone with me so far? Tell me if you are or if you got it or no. Yes, this is how we learned it, that if my mudare is majzoom and it is ending with a weak letter, be it alif maksura or alif, just call it alif, or ya or waw, they have to get dropped. Okay, we will just drop them. So Allahu, lafzul jalala, what is the role here? So mudare marfu bidamatul muqaddara followed by lafzul jalala in marfu status. Now, no, Yahdi and now Allah. Now you cannot call it mubtada, right? Because it is a marfu ism. Now I have started my jumla failure, and you told me that we are doing a jumla failure. So in jumla failure, we'll look for the parts of jumla failure. We look for fa'il, maf'ul, we look for mutalik bil, all those things. Now mubtada is not there, right? Mubtada is out of the picture because now I'm dealing with the jumla that is failure. So now li nuri is going to be mutalik bil, nurihi is going to be they are together through which connection? Idafa, they are idafa, right? Now comes your word man, and man is your ism. Okay, man is your ism, ism that is mausul. Okay, ism mausul. You have learned a different types of ism mausul when you were learning type in term one. Allazi, allazani, allazaini, allazina, allati, allatani, allataini, allati, allai. Remember those words? When we were learning 7 reasons for an ism to be proper. Your default type of an ism is common. There has to be a reason for a word to be proper. There I taught you a term, a relative pronoun. And those relative pronouns were allazi, allazina. And I taught you a term, a phrase about them, a definition of those nouns. I told you that they are mausul from waw, sod, lam, right? It's a mausul, right? So what do they do? What is their job? Whatever is after them, they connect it to whatever is before them, as the name indicates. Whatever is after an ism mausul connects that which is after it to whatever is before it. Okay, you will deal with it like any other ism, and every ism has how many properties? No matter how an ism looks, no matter how it looks, you just treat it as an ism. Okay, this is why, because when you look at an ism, you start thinking about these 4 properties. Now man, by looking at it, does it look like an ism? Tell me if it looks like an ism or no. How many of you think that it looks like an ism? If you look at it and you can immediately, if you never knew word to word and you can spot it right away, without knowing the translation, can you tell it's an ism? No, you cannot, right? For the most part, it is very similar to min, but this is man. Man means whoever. Yes, you and people end up doing that. That is why you are always told, focus on your haraka as well, right? So it has mim fatha, man. It is in ism mausul, and it is now going to be treated like any ism. Now, when I told you an ism, and it is in jumla failure, what can it be? Allah guides through his light whomever he wills. Very well done. What kind of a question did it answer that helped you decide that this is your maf'ul? And this will help you further decide what kind of maf'ul it is. Yes, it is maf'ul. It answered your who question. So when you have a ism that is answering your what and who question, that ism is maf'ul, bihi, fihi, lahu, mutlaq, bihi, right? Most common maf'ul. Easy? Everyone with me so far? Can you label it as maf'ul bihi now? So now another thing that I've been trying to teach you slowly and surely, and I told you these concepts. It's not that people open Quran, start doing grammar, and they immediately learn everything. It did not happen to any of us. So it will not happen to any of our beginner sisters. So inshallah, we are here to help you. So now you're looking at an ism that is ending with man. So what do you think? It is always going to look like man. It does not change its ending. So what kind of an ism it is now? It's a non-flexible ism, right? So when you have a non-flexible ism and it is acting like a maf'ul, it is a maf'ul, for sure, not like a maf'ul, it is your maf'ul, and your maf'ul is what in status? What is the status of maf'ul? What is the status of your detail? It is mansoob in status, right? Everyone with me? Anyone has disagreement to this? If you have, please present it right now so that we can clarify if there is any confusion. So if I call it fi mahalli nasbin, in place of nasb, is there anything wrong with that? If when I label it maful bihi fi mahalli nasbin, in place of nasb, is there any problem with that? Because now it's not showing its status, but it is coming at the place of nasb, where my nasb ism was supposed to be. No, man is going to be fi mahalli nasbin. This man is going to be fi mahalli nasbin. Okay. So the other thing is, now that we have gone over our sentences, we know a couple of types of jumla ismiyas. We have learned all types of jumla failures. We have learned the commanding. We have learned forbidding, though we have done it under the the category of mudare. But we have learned our jumla failure for the most part. Okay, most of the jumla failures we have, what jumla failure, basic jumla failure is, you have learned it. And two types of jumla ismiya, the two very basic types of jumla ismiya, you have learned it. Okay, so one was where you see your regular mubtada, and one was with inna, anna, kanna, layta, la'alla, lakinna, right? Those you have done. So let me introduce you to something. You always will see that man is followed by something. What is man followed by? What is yasha'u? It's a fail. Yasha'u. Look at the word. Yasha'u. It's a mudare, right? Ya is the sign of mudare. Sheen, ya, hamza. Sheen, ya, hamza are the root letters. Everyone with me? Is it clear, Aisha? Because sheen, this alif was driven from ya and hamza. They are the root letters, and your first root letter is preceded by alamatul mudare. So this is mudare, right? This cannot be anything. Huh? So it is a fail. Yes, it is a fail. Okay. Allah guides. Allah guides to his light whomever he wills. Whomever he wills. Is this making any sense that these two are connected to each other? Can you make any connection? Is man connecting this sentence after it to whatever is before it? Is it doing this job what it is supposed to do? Do you all agree or no? Everyone with me so far? So this thing, this fail mudare, that is after your mausul, or anything that is after your mausul, after your ism mausul, whatever comes, is called silatul mausul, and it follows it. They are just attached to each other, like your fingers are attached to your hands. Can your fingers be separated from your hands? Unless your finger has to be amputated, it does not need to be separated. May Allah, not need us to, make us needy of that. But may nobody needs this amputation business. But how your fingers are connected to your hand. Similarly, your silatul mawsool, which can be a jumla ismiya or jumla failiya, is going to be connected to your ism mawsool. Yes, the whatever comes after man, as long as it is connected to man, as long as there is connection, there can be, yasha'u this, and there can be again a maful fihi for yasha'u as well. It is going to be connected to, it will, as whatever is after it, it will remain connected to man. Okay, the whole sentence after man, it will remain connected to man and is called silatul mawsul. Everyone with me so far, especially Ranaz and Aisha, because they are doing it probably the first time. Ranaz, where are you in your what are you thinking about this? And this is going to be taught to you. This just came up, and this was something that I was planning to teach you next. Ranaz, can you hear me? Trying to absorb, and inshallah we'll make it happen. Just like we learned so many different things, you will learn this thing as well. Remember, whatever comes after ism mawsool, is it sila? It is sila, and it is going to be connected just like a girl and her braid. It can be very long, it can be like a small pony, but it will remain connected to a girl forever and ever. Okay, unless she decides on having her hair shortened. But just think of that is a mawsool, and it's silatul mawsool as a girl and her braid. Okay, this man is a mawsool because it connected to whatever was after it. This jumla failure, this was a whole jumla failure. It connected it to whatever is after it to whatever is before it. Now the whole thing, Sila can have more than one sila. No. Sila, when sila starts, it can be a complete sentence, and we will go over it, inshallah. For now, whatever is your sila, it is going to be connected to your man. And now this whole thing together is going to be your maful. Okay, whomever he wills. No, so it is not whomever, any whomever. Whomever Allah wills will be guided to the light of Allah. Okay. Yes, there are many ism mawsuls we have done in first term. The proper ones, like allazi, allazani, allazina, allati, allatani, allataini, allazaini, allazina, and allati, allai. And I'm going to show those tables to you in a minute. Okay, inshallah. And we will do it in our next session. We will do this mawsul and silatul mawsul in the next session. This is just introduction. Okay, this came up in this words, so I just wanted you to be aware of this, that we are going to learn it in our next session formally, and just how we do everything, we will go into details of everything. Today we are going to finish our harf nasab wa ismuha wa yadribu. What is happening here? Yadribu, what kind of a sentence we are seeing here? Since I told you I have separated all the sentences. Jumla failure. Now tell me yadribu. Yadribu. Jumla failure. So it is mudare. What is the status of my mudare? I'm always going to look for that because that's important at this stage. If I don't know that, I will forget it later on. Allahu is going to be my fa'il. I'm not going to talk about damir mustatir here because Allahu cancels my damir mustatir. Al amsala. Allah strikes the examples. Huh? Amsala. What is al amsala doing here? It's a maful. Barakallahu fi. What kind of a maful it is going to be? Maful bihi. Linnas. Linnas. One word or two words. Linnasi. Mutalik bil fail because it is jar wal majroor coming in your jumla failure. Everyone with me so far? You have, for those of you who have already done their homework, it must be super duper easy. Alhamdulillah for them, right? So now, another sentence for you from Suratun Nur, Ayatun Nur. So let's do Wallahu. Jumla Ismiya. And Jumla Ismiya is beginning with your Allahu. Now tell me, when you tell me Jumla Ismiya, what do you look for? And my sisters have started typing Mubtada. And now what do I see after it? Bikulli shay'in. Bikulli. Mutalik bil, right? Mutalik bil khabar is now here, starting because it is jar majroor. Kulli shay'in is, what is kulli shay'in? Kulli shay'in is idafa. Barakallahu feek, my dear sister, because kulli is from your special mudafs, right? Kulli is special mudaf, and it is making shay'in majroor because they are in idafa relationship. Bikulli shay'in idafa, bikulli is going to be, so kulli shay'in is idafa, bikulli is jar wal majroor, so it is going to be all together, and it's going to be mutalik bil khabar alimun. What is alimun? It is your khabar. Everyone with me so far? This is so far understood. Other than one concept that you have not done before, everything you have learned. Type 1 if someone has disagreement to whatever I have said. And you can, feel free. I'm not challenging you or anything like that. I'm just trying to see, if there is any confusion. That is why we are doing this session. Last time, there was a confusion about this term badal, right? So we have not gone over badal, and badal is an advanced concept, my dear sisters. But sometimes what badal does, it clarifies things for us. Shajaratin mubarakatin. Why do I always keep on saying it mubarakatin? Shajaratin mubarakatin. Do I know what when I see this? Do I know what kind of tree we are talking about here? Do I know? Do I have any idea? Huh? You already know how. How do you know that this what was this tree? If I don't give you anything after it. No, Zaytun gave you information, right? That this is a olive tree. Isn't it, Aisha? That when you know Zaytunatin told you that this blessed tree is olive tree that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about. If that Zaytuna was not there, so you would come, right? It could be mango tree, it could be date palm tree, huh? Isn't it? Right? If the Zaytuna thing was not there, you will be all confused about it. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is very merciful. He wants us to not, to wander here and there. He has made this Quran easy. He has promised it. That, he has taken an oath that he has made this Quran easy for us. That lam is lamul qasam when I say, وَلَقَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ لِلذِّكْرِ فَهَلْ مِن مُدَّكِرٍ. So remember that. So this was, when Zaytuna thing comes here, things become easy. Now we know that, it's talking about olive tree. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about olive tree. And then comes, and this is, more about a parable kind of a picture here, but, something to, something to keep in mind that, when badal comes, it can give us more clarity. We will do that topic in detail, inshallah, in future. So I will want you to focus on one thing today before I take you to finish Haruf and Asiba. Okay. Do you notice misbah? And then you notice this al-misbah. What is the difference between two? How are they different? Why? Yeah. Why? Do you ever talk about something like this? Let me tell you a story. I went to a forest. The forest, I saw a deer. The deer was beautiful. What was the difference? How I said this deer differently? A and the, right? So when you just don't know about something, when you start your discussion about something, you started with a, because in this niche is a lamb. Okay, is a lamb. Now you know about this lamb. Now you know that now this lamp is being talked about. So now when you discuss, now I have given you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has laid out a stage. And now when he talks about the same very lamp again, he put an al there. Al misbah fi zujaja. The lamp. Because I have already told you about this lamp. I started talking about this lamp with fiha misbah, right? There's a very special kind of al here. That al has to do with something that you know now. Okay? So this one you didn't know. Now you know about this lamp. Same thing happened with zujaja, isn't it? Zujaja, common. When this zujaja was talked about again, what glass? A zujaja, right? So how beautiful it is to see, how first a common, you just like you do in a normal storytelling. I saw a deer. The deer was beautiful, isn't it? That's how you narrate to someone. Now I'm talking about a particular deer. It's not ordinary deer. I am narrating to you a particular deer that I saw in the forest who was super duper beautiful because Allah made him like that. Hmm? Is it something making sense or too philosophical? Alhamdulillah. So, make those, small things in Quran, they are not small. And one day they will not remain small anymore for grammar students. They will notice the very subtle detail, inshallah. And that was the whole point of this. So let's just do whatever we needed to finish here. So we have learned about harufe nasiba, which are called harufe nasikha as well. And I will just want you to quickly tell me why they are called nasikha, because that's important. What do they do? If you just give me a phrase, change the i'rab, change the i'rab. They change the mubtada, they change the mubtada from marfu to what do they do? They make it nasab. Now the ism that was mubtada is now made nasb in status. So whenever I see have huruf nasiba, what should I think about? That this is starting that from here, what is starting? The jumla ismiya is starting, right? My jumla is now starting, right? And now my mubtada, as we mentioned last time, because it was, is not going to be called mubtada. Now, what is it called? Ismu. Hmm? Ismu inna, ismu ka'anna, ismu anna, ismu later, ismu ka'anna, all those things. My sentence started and now it is going to be ismu, and we because when we lay down foundations of something, why we are doing things in a little a different manner is when other concepts are made, you are made familiar to new concepts, they are super duper easy because you have known now the nasakh in grammar. Now how something is nasikha, we have learned nasakh in Quran in regards to verses, and now you have learned a concept of nasakh in grammar where the word that was marfu in status, a word comes and changes the marfu status to nasb, right? Now the previous status has been nullified. It's no longer applicable. And my dear sisters, I don't know how many of you have gone through recording. Sister Aisha was very smart because when I taught her, we were looking at a fail kada, and kada is not a regular fail. So I just, they kept on asking what are we going to label it, and I kept on telling these girls that we'll learn it later. So I just said it is ismu kada, it's not going to be file here. And she immediately said after it was the jumla failure coming, so she immediately was able to label it as khabru kada because she now understood that how this word works. So kada, simple, kada yakadu. How you are going to label because you have learned how you are going to label inna wa ismuha, it will make your job easy when you are going to label other sentences of a similar sort. Okay, inshallah. So every time you see anything like tal'uha, so if the kanna was here, now your khabar is whole jumla ismiya, right? isn't it making it easy for you to identify that now my khabar is not a one word, because inna, anna, ka anna have entered and they must have attacked the mubtada, right? They must have attacked mubtada and they have changed my mubtada from marfu to mansoob status. So now I see ka anna wa ismuha, and then comes my khabruhu ka anna. I hope this is not uh, something that has been made more confusing by me. Is everyone with me, my dear sister, Sister Samina? Making sense? I know you were driving before. Is it clear to everyone, my dear sisters? Alhamdulillah. Okay. So now you will see, just real quick, I will want you to, yeah, it's just a way how you label it. It is just the way you label it. It is just you instead of, la'allahum, la'alla wa ismuha yarshudun khabru la'alla. Simple. La'allakum, la'alla wa ismu la'alla khabru la'alla is tashkurun. لعلهم يضرعون لعل واسمها يضرعون خبر لعل في محل رفع. Simple, nothing difficult, simple. Just you just have to be familiar with using this term, because none of your Arab book is going to call this construction mubtada, none of it. Are tal'uha wa ka'anna, yes, they're both mubtada, yes, but tal'uha is the main mubtada and the whole sentence is the khabar of tal'uha. When ka'anna comes, ka'anna's khabar is only ru'usu shayateen. Okay? Right? So this whole underlying sentence is the khabru tal'u, and ka'anna is starting another sentence. And the whole sentence is khabru. Whole jumla ismiya is khabru tal'uha fi muhalli raf'in, because now we have to, because my jumla was ismiya, jumla ismiya, so I have to write fi muhalli raf'in. So two jumla ismiya, yes, one jumla ismiya has another jumla ismiya as a khabar, right? Taluha ka'annahu ru'usu shayateen, right? Total one jumla ismiya, and then inside your jumla ismiya is another jumla ismiya which starts from ka'annahu ru'usu shayateen. So here is the same thing with innahum alfaw aba'ahum. You have a jumla ismiya, but the khabar is jumla fi'liya. So here there are no two jumla ismiyas, but one is jumla ismiya, annahum alfaw aba'ahum dallin. But alfaw itself is jumla fi'liya. So two jumlas. Yeah. Is it clear to everyone? And we will practice that. The Ramadan is all about practice. All about practice. No more difficult things. Okay. So one thing I would want you all to know, one brother once in one of the grammar groups asked, why are huruf nasiba called mushabba bil fail, similar to fail? Why they are called mushabba bil fail? So I did some research and I found an answer here. So I'm sharing with it with all of you as well. So when you have inna, anna, they mean indeed, absolutely. So what are you doing at that time when you're saying inna allaha ghafurun rahimun? I absolutely emphasize. You're doing emphasis, right? So it actually means a fail uakkidu. I emphasize that indeed Allah is extremely forgiving, ever merciful. When these two mean I emphasize. So this way they are similar to fail. Ka'anna, when ka'anna come, as it is like, you just saw an example. Here, if you can see, as if tal'uha, its fruit is as if it is heads of devils. So what are you doing here with ka'anna? You are making tal'uha look similar to heads of devils, isn't it? By using ka'anna. Ka means like like indeed it was. You can also, just if you break apart the word, you can also do it like this, like indeed it was heads of devils. Basically, you are making similarity between one thing and another with ka'anna. If you look at your Surah An-Nur, Ayatun Nur, can you see here? Ka'annaha kawkubun duriyun. Zujaja, the glass, as if it is like kawkub, a big star, bright. So what did you do? You are making the glass of the lamp look similar to a star. Aren't you making a similarity between these two? Hmm? Little advanced concept, but we'll just, you're not going to be tested on this, but Quran is for understanding. It's not just for reading, right? And grammar is also to make your understanding deeper. It's not just so that, I tell you some terms and you know how to label jumla ismiya, failure, this, that. No, it is to make connections and to get the deeper comprehension of Quran. Okay. So then when I say la Allah, perhaps they, but what am I doing? What am I wanting here? When I say, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah says, that's another thing. But when a regular person says la Allahum, you hope, right? Hopefully, you all are will be grateful. You all will be rightly, they all will be rightly guided. Huh? What are we doing here? You are hoping. Atarajja means I hope. Make sense or no? When you say later means I wish. Atamanna. So those are the fail that they are exactly giving the meaning of. Lakinna, it means however, right? So whatever is before, you are actually correcting it, for example, if I show you this verse from Surah Al-Baqarah, and real quick, you will, I think that will help you understand. I think, let's see how, if it works or if it makes you more confused about this. Let's see. Okay, this one. So when we say Wama kafara Sulaiman, and Sulaiman did not disbelieve, he did not do any kufr. Walakinna shayatin kafaru. So what are we saying here? However, we usually translate it, in a very simplistic manner. However, the shayateen, they do that. But aren't we correcting some concepts here? Aren't we correcting some misconceptions here? Sister Samina, do you agree or no? What about Sister Rubin, if she's here, and Sister Zarina? I don't want to skip any one of you. All of you are, important. Okay, so focus and tell me if it makes sense or no. Didn't I, when walakinna came, it addended whatever was before. So people had misconceptions that Sulaiman alayhi salam was doing some kind of a magic, right? And this is very well known among Jews and people of book. But what did Quran do? Quran came, and Quran says Sulaiman did not do any kufr. He did not do anything like that. Okay, he did not disbelieve, because doing magic is a action of disbelief. Walakinna shayatin. However, so correction. Let's make this correction here. Let's get it all right here. Shayatin, they did kufr. They did magic. Make sense or no? So this walakinna has the meaning of correction. So in Arabic, the term is astadraka. Okay, so you don't need to know the terms, but you need to understand the concept. I want you, and inshallah, when we will go over the verse surahs, we will bring those concepts again and again, so everyone is well versed with them. Okay, now one more thing I would like you to know. Have you seen this thing, innama in Quran, or ka'annama sometimes, ma coming after? And you must have noticed, for those of you who learn word to word, that this ma is not translated. Yes, Aisha, you got it. So did you notice ma means what? But you must have noticed that it is either translated as indeed but not. It's something like that. Indeed but. Something like that, right? Everyone with me so far? And you will also notice that there is nothing mansoob after it. This ma is never translated. This ma is not translated. So it is not, it is an ism. Sometimes it is an ism. Okay. Sometimes it is ma is also an ism. But here it is not an ism. What do I want you to know is ma here in this construction is not an ism, because in Surah Al-Baqarah, if I take you to Surah Al-Baqarah for practice today, you will see many examples of this. And you need to be very, very well aware of this, that this ma is not an ism. This ma is a harf here that is there. And what is it doing is it is blocking the action of inna. It is canceling the effect of inna. What does inna do that it's canceling? What does inna do? The question is, what does inna do? It makes a word nasb in status, right? It makes an ism mansoob. Do you see an ism mansoob here? Do you see innana? Because if nahnu was affected by inna, it should have been innana. Is it? No, right? So what did ma do? It cancelled the effect of inna. It did not let it work on nahnu. So this innama is there only to bring that meaning of indeed, but only. But only we are the ones who reform. Indeed, we are ones who are righteous, or ones who make reformation. Here it is a reformation. Ones who make reformation, or ones who are reformers. Is it clear? So what is this ma? Here in nama, it's a harf. Number one, it's a harf. Number one, it's a harf. It is not nasiba. No, it is something that cancels the effect of inna, because harf cannot be made nasab, right? It is canceling the effect of haruf nasiba. Okay, it is canceling the effect of haruf nasiba, and it's called ma kafa. Ma kafa stops from inna from doing an action. Ma'ul kafa stops inna from performing its action. It always makes a word nasab, but it does not let it do that. Ma kafa. Ma kafa. Okay? And this ma, because it is a har. Now you cannot call it nasab mansoob fragment. Can you call it nasab harf nasab wa ismuha? No, not anymore. So now in this case, did inna attach itself to mubtada of the sentence? Now give me a right answer. No, no, very well done. No, it did not attach to the mubtada of the sentence. Okay, and there are exceptions. I have been teaching you there is no absolute, because now we want to bring an emphasis in our sentence. We want to bring a hasar in our sentence. We want to say we are only ones who reform. We are only ones who reform. We are the only ones who reform. And those kind of sentences usually come from those from who? Does believer ever make such statements that we are only ones who make reformation? No, usually they come from munafiqun, right? Munafiq, when people are hypocritical, they are hypocrites. You will hear all such statements, and we are no one to judge. It is Quran. Just we have to focus on hypocritical ideology while we are learning Quran, when we are learning about munafiqun and about our own self. We are only going to self-analyze ourselves, right? We are not supposed to look at our friend, oh yeah, this is very hypocritical statement that she's passing. No, that's not what I'm teaching. I'm teaching do your own self-analysis, right? Because we are weak, right? So here, innamal a'malu binniyat. So how will you translate it? Amal means deeds are upon intentions. Niyat means intention. The actions are, the one way to translate it, this could be that, the actions are based only on intentions, because of innama. Only is coming from innama. Yes. Okay. Make sense, my dear sisters? Everyone is with me so far? So let me take you to Surah Al-Baqarah and let me see if you got it. Okay. 1 second. Yes. You have to, if there, a very good question, and I will address that question at the end. Okay, inshallah. Okay, let me show you. So everyone has to label this verse. It's everyone's verse. Innama nahnu muslihun. What kind of a sentence? You just have seen this, and yeah. So how will you label it now? Jumla ismiya. Where is your mubtada? What will you call your mubtada here? Can your harf? What did I teach you? That was, yes. So now your mubtada is nahnu only. No, nahnu is your mubtada, my dear sisters. Nahnu is going to be your mubtada. Muslihun. Label it. And while you're labeling it, I'm going to get a water real quick. Okay. So everyone call it a khabar. So every time, so innama is not going to be your mubtada. When I see a harf, do I give any i'rab to a harf? So there was a term that we were going over in our last session as well, I think, and on session before last. Sister Ambreen, do you remember that term? La mahalla lahu min al-i'rab, right? There is no i'rab for it. Okay, sometimes, when you remember one thing, if I give you any harf, you are going to give me only one answer. La mahalla lahu min al-i'rab. La mahalla lahu min al-i'rab. It has no place in i'rab. It has no place. There is no place for it in i'rab. I don't call it mubtada. I don't call it khabar. I don't call it fa'il. I don't call it maf'ul. Like, don't call it anything like that. Everyone with me so far? You will go on to nahnu. The purpose of teaching you this is that now you are dealing with two haruf. Inna, ma, they both haruf. There are 2 verses or 3 verses in Quran that I have come across where ma is an ism. And when we will go to that, those 2-3 verses, I will tell you that. But for the in 98% of cases, you will see this ma as ma kafa, that is just there as a harf, and it cancels the action of inna. It does not let it change or have any effect on mubtada. It does not let it attach to mubtada. Okay? Nahnu is your mubtada, muslihuna is your khabar, and this is a very important concept. I remember when I was doing this, I did not have any idea how to label this innama. So what we were, it was very hard for us. So this was something that I really wanted to go over with you all. So then let's do this one, and so that we know, if I ever show you this again, no one should make these mistakes. Same as above, my dear sister. Will you call it mubtada? And you are in your notes, and I'm going to update my slide as well, that how ma is also a harf and inna is a harf. When I tell you 2 are harf, they cannot be mubtada, they cannot be khabar. Okay, remember that. And then nahnu is going to be my mubtada, and mustahzi'una is going to be my khabar. And this in Surah Al-Baqarah, this concept was, and we started in our group, with Surah Al-Baqarah. So that was, that made things little harder for us. So because we did not know what to do with this thing now. Okay, let me give you another example here. Antum. What kind of a sentence? No, you are going to just say innama Sister Samina la mahalla lahu min al-i'rab. Adatul hasr is there only for exclusivity, for meaning of only, emphasis, for just that only and only and absolutely kind of a meaning is that innama is giving me. Okay, and let me uh, and let me show you how you will write it. You can just call it ha sod ra. Okay, I hope this is clear to everyone. Okay. So antum, what are you seeing here? Is a pronoun. So what is it? What are you going to label it? It's your mubtada. Ta'lamun is your khabar. Everyone understood this without any confusion? Okay. Jumla failure fi mahalli raf'in. Again, because it was jumla fi mahalli raf'in. Okay. So now you have learned that you can emphasize your jumla ismiya by a couple of haruf. And those haruf were inna, anna. Inna and anna, you can see anna as well. That also has the meaning of indeed, right? Everyone must have seen that when you look through the list of your haruf nasiba. You see that it is inna and anna. They both have meaning of indeed, right? Everyone understood this? So sometimes I told you that there is in the beginning. I told you you will also see lam, right? You see lam in your jumla ismi as well. Do you? And that lam is translated as surely. For those of you who have done word to word, and for those of you who have not done word to word, you will inshallah see this lam, that lam, not like inna, my dear, just sirf lam, only lam. Okay, for example, let me show you. This lam here, if you focus on this word, lal akhiratu, do you see anything in additional here? This lam, surely, hereafter is better for you than the present life. Ula, we can say the current life, okay? What is coming after is better for you than, what is before. Ula. Make sense? With me so far? So this, why did I say surely? When I use this term surely, what did it do? What did I add to the sentence? There was one way of saying akhirah is better than the current life or the present life or the before life. But when I say surely, I added emphasis. So this lam, if it is at the beginning and is attaching itself to the mubtada of the sentence, it is called ibtida. Lamul ibtida. Easy or no? Is it an easy term to understand? Make sense or no? If lam is at the beginning of your sentence, it will mean the same. The meaning is not going to change. Okay, it is going to mean the same in all cases. The roots for libasa, la basin. See, no, la basin. Libasa. Oh, no. Libasa is lam basin. Okay, that is li, and this lam that is for emphasis is always with what is that? Fatha. Always with fatha. Remember that. This lam that is for emphasis is always going to be with fatha. Your lam jar, which is always with li, can also get fatha in one case only, and there's an exception. When it is seen with Pronouns, when it is seen with pronouns, then it takes fatha. But when it is with ya mutakallim, with first person singular, it is with kasra, li. It remains unchanged. But otherwise, lam-e jar always has kasra. It takes a fatha when it is attached to a pronoun. This lam is always with fatha. Okay? Okay? So this lam, yes, it comes with that lam-e jar only comes with ism. Remember, lam-e jar only comes with ism. This lam can be seen with an ism, with a fail, and can also be seen with a harf. This lam of emphasis, which we are talking about in Jumla Ismiya, can be seen with an ism, harf, and a fail. Everyone with me so far? If it is seen at the beginning of a sentence and is attaching itself to a mubtada, you call it lamul ibtida. Okay? Okay. Now, if you see it with inna, the lam will mean the same. It will have the same very meaning. Surely. Okay? But you now call it muzahlaqa. Muzahlaqa means something that is sliding. Because if it attaches itself to ismu inna, what does it do to it? It slides it to the end of the verse. Can you see it doing that? Can you see it in this verse doing that? Because it's a sliding lam. It slides the ism that it attaches itself to and takes it to the end. Right? Inna fi zalika la ayatan. I told you there can be two fragments between inna and its ism. You have learned it. In these slides, you have the slide where you can see jar wal majroor or zarf that can come between inna wa ismu inna. So here, inna is there and la ayatan, yes, double emphasis, absolutely double emphasis. But since lam came, and this was with inna, sliding lam comes. Lam is sliding with inna. So this sliding lam slides the ismu inna, instead of being it here, inna ayatan fi zalika. Now it is inna fi zalika la ayatan. It made it slid to the end of the verse. Okay. Everyone with me so far? Just a different name. Just a different name. Innahu lal haqqu. Now this time, innahu, inna wa ismu inna, right? Who is ismu inna? Lal haqqu. This time, in this lamul muzahlaqa attached itself to a khabar of inna. Can you see that? And that is towards the end now. It's at the place it stayed at its place. It can attach to ismu inna and it can attach itself to khabru inna as well. Yes. So now it stayed in its place. This lam is going to be sliding lam because it is, you can just call it lamul muzahlaqa. This is a sliding lam because it will, now this cannot be before, it cannot be between inna and hu. Now this has to remain at the end. Innal insana lafi khusr. Innal insana lafi khusr. Now that fi khusr cannot be inna lafil khusr insana, it cannot happen. It has to stay now at the end. Does it make sense? If I show you this verse from Surah Al-Asr. The term that I would want you to remember is with inna, there will be double emphasis. And the lam is just called lamul muzahlaqa. Okay, this one. So you see innal insana, inna wa ismu inna, lafi khusr is going to be, you can, because we call jar wal majroor as mutalik bil khabar, lam is attached to now mutalik bil khabar, and it will stay at its place. Yeah, it can attach to an ism, as I told, it can attach itself to a fail, it can attach itself to a harf. All three it can attach. and it brings emphasis. We have passed, we've gone past our time. So let me just, inshallah, we'll take it from here and we'll finish this off. It's just an emphasis, but basically, I would want you to all go over your Ism Mausul slides. There are only the names of Ism Mausul that everyone needs to go over. And inshallah, we will do Ism Mausul in our next session, and then we will the Ramadan is only about review, inshallah. Okay. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.